Have you ever wondered why you can't seem to get out of debt? Maybe there's something inside your house that's holding it back. Not your wallet, not your job, but your toilet. Yes. The place where energy is supposed to come out. It could be where it's secretly being stored. This is not superstition. This is hidden wisdom. Silently passed down, practiced in temples, whispered by elders with deep understanding. True cleansing is not just physical. And today, you'll learn what you should pour down the toilet so that not only dirt disappears but also poverty, bad luck, and obstacles to the spiritual flow of your life. In every Filipino home, the toilet is treated with practicality and serenity. We clean it. We flush it. And then we walk away without thinking about it anymore. But what if I told you that this is one of the most powerful spiritual parts of your entire house? Because according to the hidden teachings of Buddhism and the forgotten wisdom of our own ancestors, the toilet is more than just a place to go out. It is a portal of energy. A passageway not just for physical waste but for the visible burdens we carry. Debt, poverty, guilt, and emotional burdens. This is not about superstition. This is a reminder. A reminder of what your grandmother knew even if she didn't mention it openly. A reminder that energy remains ignored and only leaves when commanded. So if you've been working hard for a long time but still can't seem to make progress, no matter how much you budget or pray, money still seems to slip through your fingers. And if there's a whisper in your soul that says it's not just about income, it's spiritual, what you're about to discover today could change everything. Because of this video, you're not just watching. You're going to start flushing out everything that no longer needs to stay in your life. Spiritual, emotional, and energetic burdens. The problem is, invisible barriers that you work hard against. You pray faithfully. You follow the rules. You budget, you save, you sacrifice. But no matter how disciplined you are, it always seems like the blessing is delayed. Or worse. It comes but then disappears. It's like a repeating cycle, a curse. But what if it's not just bad luck? What if there's something else? In the teachings of spirituality, both Buddhism and ancient Filipino beliefs, there is a belief that poverty is not always practical. Sometimes it's energy. Debt is not just a number on paper. It's a weight like a chain on your chest. And these chains don't always come from outside. Sometimes they're buried in your own home, in your habits and in energies you can't see. Have you ever noticed that some houses feel like the air is heavy? No matter how clean they are, there's a tension that envelops them. A kind of silent stress that you can't explain. You sleep but you can't rest. You earn but you don't progress. You pray but the silence is only temporary. This is not laziness. This is not failure. This is stagnant energy. Remaining energy that lives in forgotten corners, closed doors, and/or even inside our pipes. In many Filipino homes, we light candles for protection. We place coins by the door to bring in luck. We place salt in the corners of the house to absorb bad luck. But what about the toilet? The place where dirt, both physical and spiritual, is expected to leave every day. If that space has a hidden weight, everything you do from working to manifesting is like swimming upstream. Your intentions are good, your heart is strong. But there is something you can't see that is trying to block it. And this is what most people don't know. Energy has a memory. Just like trauma remains in the body, lack remains in the house. And the more you let it go, the stronger its grip will be and the more it will invite the same energy. So if your life seems like a constant struggle, if every opportunity ends in loss, if you feel like you are trying to grow in toxic soil, it is time to ask yourself, what kind of energy are you allowing to remain? Because according to the lessons we will share in this video, the most powerful cleansing does not begin in the living room, on the altar, or even in prayer. It begins in the place where everything you no longer need should leave. The toilet as a sacred point taken channel of energy. In modern times, the toilet is treated with shame, silence, or repetitive work. It is just a tool, a place where we flush and then forget about it. But in ancient spiritual beliefs including Buddhism and Filipino folk wisdom, the toilet is much more than that. It is a gateway, a spiritual point-taken channel through which negative energy, emotional waste, and spiritual blockages can be released if done with purpose. Have you ever wondered why monks, herbalists, and energy healers are always paying attention to water? Water is not just a cleanser. It is a reminder. It is a flow. It is a carrier of intention. And where in the house is the water most consistently released? In the toilet. In the hidden teachings of Buddhism, there is a sacred understanding that every object in your home either holds energy or releases it. And the toilet, when used with awareness, becomes a spiritual exit door. It doesn't just remove waste. It removes weight, blockages, and spiritual dirt. But there is one problem. Many of us allow it to remain clogged with energy. Why? Because we don't treat it with respect. We don't cleanse it with purpose. We don't use it as the sacred space that it was intended to be. In Filipino homes, we cleanse the door with salt water. We light incense on the altar. We pray before meals, but we rarely pray for the place where we are most poured out. We rarely bless the space where we expect to be drained of everything we no longer need. When we ignore this place, this is what happens. The remaining energy, fear, stress, money trauma accumulates. It doesn't go away. It hides. And because we don't talk to that space, we don't let go of what needs to go. The effect: money doesn't stay, peace doesn't last, and hope feels forced. But when you start looking at the toilet as a spiritual portal, everything changes. Because from then on you're not just flushing water. You're flushing lack. You're flushing fear. You're flushing curses. Every heavy moment. Every why is it always like this? The question that has been silently with me for years. And the truth is, you don't need to seek help from a powerful healer. All you need is a powerful intention poured into the right place. In the next part, we'll share with you the exact ingredients needed to turn your toilet into a sacred vessel of liberation. Simple, accessible, ancient, and when done with an open heart, it can change the course of your life. The ingredients: what to pour, and why don't all cleansings have to be fancy or complicated? Sometimes the most powerful transformations start with a simple mixture, poured with deep intention into the very place where the weight is leaving. So what exactly should you pour into the toilet to release debt, remove bad luck, and open the flow of abundance? 3 simple ingredients. Ordinary. But when used with divine understanding, they become powerful tools: salt, vinegar, water. Let's take a look not only at what they are but also at why they work. First, salt is the ancient cleanser. Salt is not just a spice. In every Filipino home from the village to the city, salt has long been considered a guardian. We place it in the corners of the house to drive away evil spirits. It is mixed with water to cleanse the energy of the surroundings.
It is used in rituals that our grandmothers did not explain, but they performed repeatedly. Salt is absorbent. It draws negative energy, and when flushed, it takes it all out. In Buddhist monk temples, salt is used to absorb spiritual pollution. In energetic science, salt is said to calm the low vibration of the type of energy where debt and bad luck cling. Vinegar is the second energy breaker. Vinegar is not only a clutter cleaner, it also cuts blockages, including energy blockages. Have you ever experienced entering a room that feels like the air is heavy? It feels like there is tension. It feels like there is an inexplicable dense feeling. That is energy build-up, and vinegar is its spiritual cleaner. In Filipino healing traditions, vinegar, often with herbal remedies, is used to break curses or cleanse psychic debris. Its sharpness breaks through repetitive cycles, including the cycle of poverty and bad luck. Its message is that the cycle ends here. 3 waters are sacred carriers. Water is life, but more than that, water is remembrance. It carries intention. It carries vibration. That is why spiritual baths are so powerful. That is why we pray over the water before drinking it. And that is why water is used to send our message to the spiritual world. When salt and vinegar are mixed with water and this sacred mixture is poured down the toilet, something magical happens. You are not just cleansing, you are commanding. You are sending it into your home, into your soul, and into the universe. I am done with lack. I am letting it go. This mixture becomes a symbolic statement, a sacred blend that absorbs what is no longer needed, breaks the chains of repetition, and takes your intention into the depths to be flushed and never returned. But this is the most important part. You must pour it consciously, with focus, with full presence, because the real power is not only in the substance but in your energy as you pour it. In the next part, we will teach the exact step-by-step ritual. When to do it, how to do it, and what words to say to completely release spiritual difficulty. The step-by-step ritual. This is not just a chore. This is a spiritual reset, and every step is sacred. Before you begin, remember this. The ritual will only work if it is done with pure intention. This is not superstition. This is energy work. And the most powerful ingredient here is your heart's purpose. When to do the ritual. The best time. Early morning. Before sunrise evening after 10 p.m. when the energy is quiet and the surroundings are peaceful. Best day, new moon for new beginnings, full moon for more intense release. Can also be every Sunday or Friday. Cleansing days in the tradition of choosing what you need: a glass of clean water, a tablespoon of salt, rock salt or sea salt. A tablespoon of vinegar is better if it is white or cane vinegar. A clear intention of what you want to release. Debt, bad luck, lack, quiet space, no distractions. Optional white candle or quiet music. Step 1. Organize the space. Light a white candle if you have one. Close the door, take a deep breath. Inhale the clarity. Release the weight. Say it silently. I accept peace, protection and spiritual release. I am ready to let go. Step 2. Prepare the mixture in the glass. Combine water plus salt, plus vinegar. While rotating it clockwise, whisper, "Let this mixture absorb all the blockages." Break the cycle and bring the lack away. Don't rush. Mix it with focus and a sincere heart. Step 3. Face the toilet. Your exit point is approaching the toilet slowly. With awareness. Think of it not as a dirty part of the house, but as a sacred passage. Here your spiritual blockages will be released. Look into the water and say, "Here ends what is no longer for me. Now all that is blocking me will go." Step 4. Pour with purpose. Pour the mixture into the toilet in one continuous motion. As you pour, say clearly, "I release all debt. I release all hardship. I release all misfortune. I am no longer a slave to lack. Now I am free." Feel the weight slowly leaving. Think of the debt as black smoke, rising, swirling and entering the water. Step 5. Flash with power. Flush the toilet. Watch the water swirl and imagine all the blockages in your life with it. Speak with full feeling. I flush out all that is no longer needed. I accept the grace that is due to me. From this moment on, my energy is clean. My path is clear. Let the sound of the flush ring within your soul, like a bell of freedom. Step 6. Close the ritual with gratitude. Blow out the candle. Sit quietly for 3 minutes. Let the new energy flow in. Smile softly and say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My release is complete. There is space for grace to flow. You can repeat the ritual once a week, especially if you are feeling emotionally heavy or financially stagnant. But always remember, it is not just about what you flushed. It is about who you are after you flush. These are signs that it is working. You have flushed. You have flushed. You have spoken the words that our ancestors might have whispered over a candle. Now, what comes next? Spiritual rituals don't always scream. Sometimes they whisper softly. But if you watch, you will feel the signs. Because when the energy is truly moving, everything follows within you, around you and beyond. The first sign is that you are sleeping like a baby. Not just long but quiet, deep and undisturbed. No more heavy dreams. No more waking up tired. It's like your soul is finally breathing. Why? Because when you have flashed the energy of debt, fear and shame, your body no longer needs to be on alert. The second feeling is an emotional release. Some people suddenly cry. Others laugh. Others suddenly take a deep breath. But almost everyone says the same thing. It feels like they are relieved. You may suddenly want to clean, organize things, or move furniture around the house. It's not just a trip. It's your energy resetting. When the bad luck or spiritual dirt is released, your inner compass returns to the right. May 3rd. Small financial changes. You don't have to win the lottery, but watch out for small money miracles. A refund suddenly arrives. A long overdue payment is suddenly received. A friend suddenly gives freebies. Someone calls about a new job or opportunity. The old loan that was borrowed years ago suddenly pays. This is not open. This is a confirmation of the spirit. Yes. Something has moved. Fourth, there are fewer obstacles. The flow is easier. You will notice that things are moving faster. When you speak, others listen. When you try something, there is an immediate result. Doors that seemed closed before open slightly. This is called energetic alignment. When the inside is clean, the outside follows. Even those who were previously difficult to talk to seem calmer. Even the busyness no longer seems to be a burden. Hope returns. Perhaps this is the most sacred sign of all. You believe again not in fantasy but in yourself. After the ritual, many say, "I don't know why, but it feels like something has changed. I'm not afraid anymore." That change is not an illusion. It's faith. Not blind hope, but a quiet peace. A feeling that maybe you weren't cursed. Maybe you were just blocked before. And now you're clear. In the next part, we'll take everything back to the source. We'll connect this ritual to the deep and often unspoken spiritual practice of Filipino culture. The Filipino connection. Before social media was popular, before YouTube existed, and before we called it energy work, our grandmothers, our aunts knew it. Even the quiet neighbors on the corner could feel it. They didn't use words like vibration or energetic portal. They called it cleaning the house, praying, Allah. But in essence, it's the same. A kind of spiritual cleanliness. The work of cleansing. Not just using water but using intention. Not just to get rid of dirt but to drive away darkness. And the toilet, it has not been forgotten either. In many provinces, the elderly throw salt in the toilet every holy day. Some pray silently while flushing. Others can never sleep after using the toilet at night without washing their feet or extinguishing the candle. Why? Because even if they can't explain it, they feel it. They know that energy resides in places we don't respect. And when we forget these spaces, resentment, misfortune and poverty gradually take root there. Silent, unnoticed. This is not just cleanliness. This is spiritual respect inherent in Filipinos. Spirituality. We hold holy water in church. We say taka taka pa when passing under a tree with a spirit. Whispering a prayer into our children's heads while they sleep. This is not just a habit. These are rituals that are passed down not in writing but in feelings and actions. The ritual you did today, pouring the sacred mixture into the toilet. It may be strange to the taste of the modern. But in reality, it is a return. A return to the quiet but powerful customs of our ancestors. A return to connection, a return to respect for the energy of your own home. This is not new. It is ancient. In the ritual you did not just clean the toilet. You honored your origins. You reminded yourself of the things that the modern world has forgotten, that your home is a reflection of your spirit. And the toilet, even though it is often ignored, is part of that sacred space. So now as the energy begins to move, as you gradually see the signs, as abundance approaches you, remember, this is Filipino, this is spiritual, this is holy. Final reflection and cooling affirmation. You are not cursed. You are just carrying too much weight. You may have stumbled upon this video out of sheer necessity. A friend may have shared it with you. Or maybe a faint but firm whisper in your heart told you to try again. One more time. And now here you are. You had the courage to do something that most people can't understand. You cleared your space not out of fear but out of faith. You faced hardship not out of anger but out of clear intention. What you used to ignore has now become a portal of power. Because hardship is not just about money. It's about shame, about fear, about feeling like you're the only one left while the world moves on. But today you did something sacred. You broke the cycle. You flushed the burden. You created space not just in your wallet but in your energy, in your mind, in your soul. Final affirmation. Taglish for connection to the Filipino heart. Take a deep breath. Place your hand on your chest and repeat this. Slowly, clearly, with all the faith you have left. I am not cursed. I am cleansed. I release fear. I welcome flow. I am no longer a slave to poverty. I free myself now. I choose abundance. I claim peace. I create a new energy in my home, in my life, in my spirit. And as you say this, know something important. The energy has shifted not because of magic, but because you have remembered who you really are. A sacred soul with the power to flush out anything that should no longer remain. A call to action. Call to action. If this ritual has brought you even a moment of peace, if you have felt even a little change, trust it. Cherish it. Repeat it. And if your heart tells you that this message needs to be heard by others too. A friend drowning in debt, a mother praying for a miracle, an OFW who has gone through more than just loneliness. Share this video with someone who cares. You are not alone in this journey. And as more of us cleanse not only our homes but our energy, our nation, our community, our generation becomes stronger. A spiritually strong and financially independent people.